Hello, everyone, and welcome to the October 2023 Explorer Call from Aira. I'm Janine Stanley. I'm your Director of Customer Success and Engagement here at Aira. And joining me tonight is my producer, Sid. Hey there, Sid.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Janine.
Hey, we have our CEO, Mr. Troy Attilio, with us tonight.
Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are.
Our product manager.
Hi, everyone.
Jody Barthelas. I'm about to sneeze in front of everyone. There we go. And our Vice President of Service Delivery, Savannah Massey. Hello, Savannah.
Hello, everybody. So glad to be here.
So it's going to be a bit of a shorter show tonight. We have a few announcements, first of all. And our first announcement is this will be our last Explorer Call of the year. We're going to do these quarterly in 2024, but we will not have a call in November or December. However, we will be around if we have any special announcements. You may be seeing those, but for 2023, this is our Explorer Call. So I would like to start things out, of course, by handing the microphone over to our CEO.
Hello, everyone. I think I'm going to start off. I can't help but reflect on global events. It seems like I've been on this call many times and there's been global events, but if you'll just join me for a moment, a moment of silence I think is appropriate. Just I think we should all think about what's going on in the Middle East, Israel. I think we all watch the news, and anytime there's that much loss of life and conflict, I think it affects us all. It affects me. So I'm just going to be quiet here for a couple seconds and think about that situation. Yeah. So my thoughts, and I think I can speak for Aira. We can't help notice what's going on, and it does affect us. Yet here we are. We're delivering a service and we're growing a service, and for the rest of the call, we'll be talking about that. But it's just obviously it affects us all, and I'm acknowledging that. Let's see. I think what I wanted to cover might take about 5-10 minutes. We were out and about in the last couple of weeks. Now, I was not out and about personally. It was my wedding anniversary, and just wasn't good timing. And if you're asking, I was happily married now 33 years. That makes me
congratulations.
Successful, old, or I found the right partner. But either way, I was not out and about. But Kevin Phelan and Everett Bacon had the opportunity to attend the American Printing House of the Blind annual event, as well as going to M-Enabling in Washington, D.C. So I'm just going to share some observations. I think anytime we're able to connect both with explorers or partners in the industry, it's always exciting, because collectively we're always thinking about and talking about what we can do together better. And what that starts with, we met with close to 300 teachers credentialed in visual impairment, so TVIs, teachers of visual impairment, I guess the way it goes. Aira is looking to deploy in the K through 12 environment, and APH is asking us to, and that broad set of students, if you will, across the US are also hopeful to gain access to visual interpreting. So we've been working with APH on that for a while. I don't have any significant, it's going to start on this date and how it's going to work, but that is something that we continue to work with APH on, given where they sit in the ecosystem of basically funding services for students. We also got to sit with several current and prospective Aira partners, including California School for the Blind. There's also a school in Maryland. So when we're out at those events, that's often a place that people always say, how do you get access offers? How do those, where do those, what is your process? So one of the ways that we, get into those conversations is by attending these events. We certainly were there with our partners, Vispero, Good Maps. And then I think the other thing to know is APH is an access partner. So if you work at APH or in the APH building, you do get Aira for free. And, we got to talk to a number of those folks, and, it is working well. We also spent significant time with Alabama Institute of Deaf and Blind, Karen Anderson, and their education programs as well. So, even passing on news from our partner, they're embarking on a new fundraising effort to increase a fundraising effort to support their museum. So not only does APH have a museum under, in progress, but I think, NFB does as well. I'm looking forward to visiting those. Little fun fact, I have in my garage one of the very first Kerwile song. I can never say his name. Janine, help me out. Ray's last name. Kurzweil. Thank you. For whatever reason, my brain does not want to process that. I have one of the very first, readers. One of the, it's a flatbed scanner that may end up in the museum. So it's
Wow.
the first OCR machine, one of the first ever.
One of those
built.
huge ones that used to be in the library.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, my wife of 33 years is at times wishing it wasn't in our garage, but I told her, no, that's a keeper, that's a gem. But let's see what else. Everett and Kevin, attended M-Enabling. So M-Enabling is an annual conference. They bring together disability advocates, corporations, a lot of government, because it's in DC, academia, accessibility executives, and it's all about networking, innovating, different. There's some booths, but it's mostly lectures and discussions. And we had the opportunity to represent Aira, and we were on a panel discussing employment accommodations and digital inclusion. The panel also included leaders from Walmart, Microsoft, Envision, and other leaders in the field of neurodiversity. And I think the takeaway from the panel is on how important it is to recruit, hire, and retain people with disabilities. I don't know if we talk about this a lot, but at Aira, a lot of our business and focus is on that aspect specifically. We have a job seeker promotion. So if you didn't know that, if you're seeking a job or seeking a new job, you can select the job seeker offer, and that gives us insight into what some of the challenges are, some of the needs are for people seeking employment who are blind, and that's a pretty successful program. But then we have at this point, I think 40 or 50 employers who provide Aira as an accommodation, and some of them as an accommodation during the interview or early stage process for considering a job. So we got to talk about that. I think a lot more can be done and will be done in that space. It's our objective, and one that we started in 2017, to reduce the rate of unemployment for those people who want to be employed. So I think anytime we get to talk about that and align with other companies, we make progress. I'm also reading my notes here. We also got to spend some time with, if Dr. Sashin, who's the executive director of the U.S. Access Board, and Conchina Hernandez, who's director of blindness and education programs for the state of Maryland. We were looking for potential ways to partner with these folks. I think Access Board has a unique position that I know they are called on at times by the federal government to assess certain specific needs or issues, and often help select technology. So remaining close to those organizations is good, because part of our strategy is ultimately to unlock more funding and make Aira affordable for everyone. And so we're making those efforts as well. I would say overall, anytime we're out and about, we're listening to the customers, and we got some good feedback on what's working, what's not working, and heard stories about how people are using Aira differently. But as always, we leave there both, I think, inspired but also realizing there's always just so much more to be done, whether it's new ideas or just making sure the service we have, is quality, has the quality and meets the needs that we've already met. So with that, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna hand the microphone back to Janine, but I just wanted to say I'm pretty excited about the future of Aira, and I think we're growing, we're hiring, and it's a good time to expand our service so that more people can gain access to it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Troy. And October is, in fact, National Disability Employment Awareness Month, NDEAM. And to celebrate that, our podcast, Access Matters, had an episode with Jonathan Mosen talking about employment for people with disabilities with his agency in New Zealand, but kind of trends across the board. And then on Monday, we'll have our second episode for NDEAM, and that will feature Dan Fry, who is, and I'm going to get his title wrong, but he works with programs for employment and recruitment at the National Federation of the Blind. And we have a short segment from Joy Mistovich, who many of you may know from social media. And she's going to talk about how she got her job at the Butler Institute of Art and a little bit about her philosophy of access. So Monday at 3 p.m. or in your podcast player of choice, that will be available. And again, that's Access Matters. Now, we will go over to a very popular lady, especially since the new Aira Explorer app has come out. Hey, Jody, what are you folks working on in the product world?
Hey, Janine, we've been really busy. So since we talked last time, we've been really working on, when we first launched, we had initial, based on feedback, what we needed to port over from the old app and make improvements. Since the last call, there's been several updates that we've done. Putting the Siri and Google integrations back into the new app is something that we've worked really hard on. I won't say the dictation because I know if I'm sitting here, all my devices will go off, but it's start a call with Aira Explorer on an iPhone. We've been doing things, one of the most popular ones is making sure that call history is sortable by if you've given feedback or not. We know that was a huge one with Explorers where it's easier to just know, hey, I didn't give feedback, and we could do, like we could in Legacy, and we'll continue to improve that experience. And then adding the payment method back. I know I told you all that we were going to do that. You've probably seen that in the app now. We've gone ahead and done that as well. So that's what we've been working on. What we've been really busy with recently is the iOS 17 bugs that came up. This was our first year not on a native app. So it did create some problems, but we worked really hard to get those corrected. And so one of them was the ability, you couldn't end a call. We got that fixed about I think a week or two ago now. And I'm happy to announce that this morning, we actually released version 1.15.2 of the app that is going to correct that ringtone back. So you'll have that ringtone back. The best advice is to go and make sure if you don't have 1.15.2 and you have the iOS 17, make sure that you update there, because that will definitely go ahead and correct that. And we've been working on just general improvements of some improvements to help the freezing of the app as well. So that's what we released this morning. And then again, with some of the stuff that we brought back based on your the Explorer's feedback, all of you, is that we put 5 minutes free back on the homepage. So you can see when it's there. It's always been in the usage, but now it's right there on that homepage for you all. So, and then what we will continue to work on is we're just still working on a lot of the requests and what you all want to see back into it. So we're working down that list and working really hard, and we'll have more updates for you all soon.
All right. I just learned that I can't type and think at the same time, and apparently I can't do either one here. Thank you so much, Jody. And again, folks, please remember the best way to report any issues with the app, any strange behavior, anything, and report the good stuff too. If you like something that we've done recently, let us know. And the way that you do that is through the feedback portion of the app. And that's in both the Legacy app and the Explorer app. But in the Explorer app especially, you can rate your agent and the app separately. So you can definitely, fill out whatever you need to, let us know how the app is doing, give it a rating. But if you miss an opportunity to do that, of course, you can go back in your call history and write whatever it is in that you need to, but also you can add to some of your ratings and whatnot by sending an email to support@aira.io and just give them, the general time of the call, etc., or the issue that you're finding recurring in the app. So we hope that there aren't too many issues, and now I am going to send our spotlight over to Savannah Massey to tell us about things in the land of service delivery and some pretty exciting things that could help you get some free Aira.
Awesome. Thanks, Janine. Great to hear all the work that engineering team is doing. Is all really exciting. I wanted to acknowledge today that we have been receiving a lot of feedback about agent wait time and ability to connect with our agents quickly. So like so many businesses, we're feeling the effects of tight labor. That coupled with a growing demand for Aira services, we're having an impact on our ability to connect with a visual interpreter. So we understand that this is frustrating and we see this same way. So I want to make sure everyone knows that we are putting up a lot of effort to address this issue. So our commitment is to provide you with the best possible experience. And while there are several factors that contribute to that experience, including the Aira app, in this particular case, the person delivering the service matters the most. So we've continuously been hiring, and several new agents have joined us recently and continue to do so in the next couple of months. But one of the most exciting things that we wanted to share is that Aira has invested heavily in the agents, our visual interpreters' pay and employment status. So we have already posted in our career page, we're offering both full-time and part-time visual interpreter employment opportunity. The best pay is now $20 an hour, increased up to $23 an hour. We are differentiating pay based on complexities of highest value time. And our agents will be eligible for health benefits as well. And full-time and part-time visual interpreters are also eligible for sick pay. So one of the key things that I wanted to remind all of our explorers that we value their referrals just as much as we look into our agent pool. So just a friendly reminder to all of our explorers that when any explorer successfully refers a candidate to Aira and the agent is active for at least 90 days of their employment, Aira Explorer will receive 120 Aira minutes, which is about 2 free hours of credit directly to your account. So if you know fantastic candidates who will make great agents and a great additional add to Aira, please send them our way and refer them to our job posts on our career site. So we're really excited to be able to offer both full-time and part-time opportunities of employment for our new agents. So excited in the journey that we are going in, the heavy investment that we're making in our agents. But acknowledging that we are aware about our wait times and we're doing everything we can on our end to truly address this issue. So I have had the opportunity to engage with many explorers this past few months, and please do not hesitate to call and provide us with feedback. Customer care team is available from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Sunday. Call us, let us know how we're doing. In addition, do not forget you have an opportunity to continue to give us feedback on our agent experience in the Aira app as well. I want to reassure all of our explorers that we look through every single comment received from our explorers, and we act upon them by reviewing recorded calls, coaching our agents, and also creating really clear expectations and accountability in the process. So your feedback matters. Please continue to send them. I know sometimes we receive feedback that, they're wanting more clear follow-up. Just think of it similar to Uber. When you use Uber and Lyft, at the end of the call, you receive ratings where it tells you to rate your driver. And then after that, there's no truly formal follow-through, but I know Uber evaluates the experiences of every customer and acts upon them. So we're doing the exact same thing. We truly rely on the experience feedback that you guys provide to us at the end of each call. Please continue to do so. So one last time before I pass it back to Janine, again, exciting, really excited about the investment we're making in our agents and future opportunities. And so please refer all future candidates to our website for full-time and part-time employment opportunities here at Aira. Back to you, Janine.
Janine, your audio is muted. There you go.
I am muted. There we go. I told you I can't type and think at the same time. So I want to thank you so much, Savannah, for all the work that you and all of the agent community has done to make this a reality. So folks, if you, again, have people that you think would be great agents, please have them take a look. There are no restrictions on this offer. So please, even if you're in another country and you know somebody, if they meet our qualifications and you are the referral person, then of course you're going to get that bonus from us, that 120 minutes of free. And I know some people who have done it. I know you think nobody's ever gotten that, but there are some people who have indeed received that benefit. Now, I am going to just take a minute here. We had a question that was submitted prior to the call from Scott Marshall, who was out in our audience here, but he is asking if there has been any progress on making GPS information available when using the Envision glasses. Anybody want to take that one?
I can start, and then maybe Jody can weigh in. We're obviously partnered with Envision. We mutually have chosen to work together, and by and large, it's a great relationship. The prioritization of that feature we've raised to the highest. At the same time, I think Envision has a lot of work in their product backlog, and so the best thing I can say at this point, I will pass on that request again. Certainly, if you want to reach out directly, they're aware of it. It's coming down to their capacity to implement it. And so I know those guys, Karthik and Karthik, have all the, best intentions and are building a great product. I think at the moment they probably need to hear from you directly, even though I will pass it along as well, because we've heard that from more than one individual that, hey, I want to use the Envision glasses. I want the Aira agent to know where I am, because that improves the navigation experience, and it's very clear because it's a core part of the platform, yet it's not integrated yet. So hope that answers the question. Jody, do you have anything to add to that? And you may be muted, or you are muted.
That was said. Wow.
Yeah. Okay, great.
All righty. Well, we do have one thing that I wanted to make you folks aware of. We also have from the agent crew, Amanda with us tonight. And Amanda is manning our YouTube comments, but also Amanda, you've got some news about a new access offer.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. We're really excited to announce one of our newest access partners, Art Melanated. They have partnered with Aira to provide Aira access for a really exciting exhibit. It's called Genius, the Celebration of a Legend, and it is located at the Andaz Hotel on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood, California. The Art Melanated's mission is to spotlight legendary artists of color, celebrating their talents and exploring their contributions. Through the work and the challenges that they faced, we gain a deeper appreciation of their resilience and creativity of the melanated artists, while honoring their invaluable contributions to our cultural heritage. This particular exhibit is called Genius, the Celebration of a Legend, and it honors the work and life of Stevie Wonder. They're looking at the countless melodies, rhythms, and memories that have enriched all of our lives. And this is done through various pieces of artwork that anyone could call in to an Aira agent and have a visual description provided for that. This is running now through the end of the year. So now through December 31st, if you are near the Andaz Hotel in West Hollywood, California, please check it out. We would love to explore that with you.
Nice. And I don't know if there's an online component to that or not, but certainly if you are in the LA area, please check that out. And if you have questions about any of our access offers, you can find information about them in the app under the Browse Access Offers section, and just tap on the offer that you need to know some information about. And if your question isn't being answered by that, then please, of course, check in with our customer care team. We have another access partner that came on board right after our August call, and that is, everybody get excited, the Honolulu International Airport, the Daniel Inouye Honolulu International Airport. Yay! So all of you going to Hawaii on vacation, for business, whatever, please take advantage of that. I can tell you that is a huge airport. I didn't realize how big it was till I had to walk it. But we are so happy to have them on board. Marty and Kevin and Everett are working diligently on a bunch of other access partners. So stay tuned. I'm sure we will have more exciting news for you about the access partnerships that we'll be bringing to you. Let's go ahead, Sid, and see if anyone has any questions out there or comments from YouTube. If you have any comments, you can just put them in the comment box. Also, we have Q&A here on the webinar, or you may now raise your hands if you would like.
We do have a person with their
All
hand
right.
raised. Give me a moment, Sharon. We're gonna put you online. Stand by, Sharon. Sharon, ask if you could. Could you
Hi,
unmute
Sharon.
and ask your
Hi.
question?
Hi, Janine. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Nice to see you
Good.
on the call.
I want to offer congratulations about the full-time and part-time. I think that's wonderful. And also that we're going to have on the homepage again, you know, on the homepage of the screen, the availability of the free 5 minutes. That's excellent. I had two questions. One of them was kind of a global one, and that is quite a long time ago. We explorers were asked, did we have any thoughts about other places that Aira might serve? And I put down India because I felt like there are just so many people there who speak English, and Indians here in the United States and many other places as well. And I just wondered if that was ever being considered. And my second question was, is Quick Assist any easier to work with than TeamViewer? The agent and I had a terrible time with TeamViewer today.
Oh my.
So those are my questions. Thank you.
Janine or Jody, if you want to answer, or the Quick Assist, I have an opinion, but Janine, I'm sure you've used both.
Sure.
And then I'll cover India.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I am a Mac user, so I can take the fifth on TeamViewer versus Quick Assist. However, from what I have heard, and Jody, you can probably back me on this one, Quick Assist is much easier to use.
Much easier.
Yeah.
We were getting a pop-up that I could not get rid of.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yep.
All right. Thank you very much about
Yep.
that. Okay.
Yeah,
The agent sent me the link so that I can install it. Okay.
Good.
Thank you. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, Sharon and anyone else out there, Quick Assist is built by Microsoft, who values accessibility and is really good at building UI. And so from what I've heard, it is much easier to use. You do have to go through an installation step if you don't have Quick Assist, that app on your machine, but our agents are ready to engage you on Quick Assist. So give it a try and maybe share in your favorite social channel, good or bad, what happened. I'd love to hear on that one. Let's see, India. Well, it's our objective to provide visual interpreting worldwide. We obviously are rooted in the US, and that's where our strength is. We're obviously capable of delivering Aira in English across the globe. We have growing strength in the UK, New Zealand, Australia, and Canada. The market in India is an interesting one. And if folks have opinions on this, I'd like to hear more. We've researched all the different markets and are considering when we should and could launch outside of the areas we support. A challenge with India, if you look at what really supports a service like Aira, a professional service, a paid service, if you will, there has to be some economic support. And because you've heard me say a million times, the idea is to find other funding sources than the individual's checkbook. And that is, slowly growing here in the United States. We're making small progress in the UK, and we continue to grow. The second thing is there needs to be a philosophy and a culture that encourages people who are blind or low vision to be independent. And in working with some of the organizations in India, that comes with mixed review, that the support or expectations around independence in India are not the same as in the US or even the UK. And so there's a question mark on if the service was available, would there be enough economic support, whether that's at a government level, a business level, or an individual level, to make it worthwhile. So our first pass on that is not yet, and we're still gathering our consultants and people who could advise us, including those who work in the space in India. Yet, unfortunately, the culture there that's been described is not as supportive as here in the US. And so at this time, we don't have any plans today or even next year to expand into India. That could obviously change at any time, but that's our current thinking.
Thank you so much, Troy, for elaborating on that. I know that we did have an initiative to look at other markets, and it was really helpful for those who participated. To kind of give us a long-term roadmap.
Long list. I mean, some other candidates, just to talk about it, like where there is strength and support, are some European countries like Spain and Germany, right? They have. They both have, Spain has an incredible funding model through ONCE, their national lottery system. Like a vast majority of that fund goes into an organization called ONCE, who then is in a position to use those funds to provide services, as an example.
Yeah, they fund a lot of the blindness-related services in Spain, including guide dogs and all sorts of rehabilitation. So Barcelona is on my bucket list of trips, by the way.
That's wonderful.
So, yeah. Do we have another question, Sid? Anybody out there?
I think right now, if folks may want to raise their hand, let us know.
I had two things.
Oh, yes, I was going to say, I thought you might have a couple more.
Yeah, no, I was focused on the conversation. I was reminded you will be receiving communication from us about a very important event that used to be more regular, and it's going to now be, again, more regular. And that is our annual Explorer survey. So what is that and why is it important? We already get great feedback through many different channels, whether that's in person, through the app, by going to conferences, by talking to individuals, and it's our core, right? We want to develop with you, not for you. We want to listen very hard, fall in love with the problem. There's a bunch of metaphors and philosophies we have here, but it comes down to really a deep understanding of all explorers. And another way to get that broad view of what explorers are thinking, not just about Aira, but in general, so we can better tune our product and our roadmap, is through an online survey. And so the last time we sent one out, I believe, was in 2021. And if you participated, you'll remember it was, a long survey. There's a short form and a long form. We understand that explorers have the capacity, appetite, and interest in an in-depth survey. So sometime this quarter, so sometime in the next 3 months, a survey will be going out. You'll see plenty of notifications, whether it's email, social, or notification in the app. But here's my personal request, that you consider taking the time to provide as much input as you can, because we use that to help prioritize where we invest, not just in the product, but how we communicate. Someone was asking about, like, hey, I answered where I want access offers in the past. That's part of the survey. So it's a broad survey, and we're spending the time to make it as comprehensive and easy to use as possible. So just look for that and tell your friends and anyone else that, hey, Ira's doing a survey soon, and prepare your favorite fall beverage and sit down and be prepared to give us your thoughts.
Excellent. And that survey will be coming up. Many of you remember that we used to do an annual customer survey. And so we are excited to get back into hearing from you in this kind of a format. And we do have a hand raised out there. Jeff, I believe.
Jeff, you are unmuted.
Hey, Jeff.
Hello. Yeah, I do have a question. A couple times I've wanted to take Metro Transit, the Minneapolis bus system, and so I used the Aira Access promo, and no one ever answered. And then after a while, it just kind of like timed out and disconnected. And I'm wondering if that is, number one, a staffing issue shortage. Number two, could it be an issue with my iPhone SE 3rd generation? And if so, perhaps there's a way that you guys could like prioritize the type of call. So if someone is using the bus system and they choose that promo, that their call should get a little higher priority. Because I was kind of like wandering around in the streets trying to figure out where I was and where the bus stop is, and no one ever answered.
Jeff, let me start, and then I don't know if Savannah wants to weigh in. Maybe going bottom up. So you have an older iPhone. I doubt that's the issue. If you're getting I don't know what app you're running, if you're running the new or the old, but if it says connecting to agent, and when you cancel, it asks you or informs you that if you cancel, you're going to lose your place in line, then you're using the new app. And if you're going through that experience, then it's not a connectivity issue. It's likely a staffing issue. And then, but if you're losing a connection, if you're not the one ending it, if it's timing out, that to me sounds like you're on the old app, right? Which
Just to
I think
add
Jody,
on that. Just to add on that, thanks, Troy, on that comment. Always call customer care. We can absolutely look into your concerns and identify whether it's call queue time, where you've been on the call wait time, how long you've been waiting, as well as any troubleshooting that you may need help with your app. Absolutely available. So do not hesitate to call us at customer care.
Yes, absolutely. And thanks, Jeff, for letting us know about that. And hopefully, if you give us a call, we can walk through this with you and see what's going on. And hopefully the next time you are out there and using that particular promo, we will be able to help you. We do have a number of transit systems that have Aira. I believe Tulsa came on board this year with their transit system, which is pretty exciting. And I'm sure we'll have more in the coming years. Any other questions or anything from YouTube?
We've got one more. We've got, it looks like one more that's raised their hand.
Okay.
This is a telephone number ending the last 2 digits of 83. You can unmute. You should be.
Hello there.
Not sure if the person, the caller is able to.
There we go.
Yes, my name is Jim Crop. My question is, I was fairly recently, when I asked the question, told that if I'm going to have someone do a fair amount of reading, the old app was working better than the new app. Is that still true for reading of a book, or has that been fixed?
That is a very interesting question, Jim, because when it comes down to the task that an agent is doing, it really doesn't matter. But the new app certainly is going to give you what I think anyway is much better audio, but it really doesn't matter which app you use. Both of them are going to connect you to an agent and keep you connected. And I don't know if Jody or Troy or Savannah want to add anything to that, but from my perspective as a user of the service who has sometimes taken on some long projects, that would be what I would tell you.
The agents that I've asked have said they preferred me on the old app for picture text quality. Pictures.
Mm-hmm. And that may be something that we will take into account too. The photo issues. Now, if you have your new app up to date on our latest version, which literally just came out this morning, we have fixed.
I will update the new app. I don't even use it because of what the agents told me. I've just been using the old app, but I'll switch over.
Yeah, give it a try because we have fixed a lot of those camera issues that were plaguing the new app. Jody, I'm hoping I'm giving you the right information on that one.
Yeah, you are. And the
Okay.
actual new app as well actually handles more cameras than just like your basic camera. So we have a lot more functionalities. So yeah, you should have a much better experience, and we'd love you to try it out and let us know after your feedback session. So at the end of it, if you can leave us feedback, letting us know, we'd love to hear follow-up from you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Troy, anything from you on that?
Oh, I don't know. Let's see. I did want to reflect on the fact that it is national. How does this go? October's National Disability Employment Awareness Month. NDEAM.
Yep.
That's what I call it, right?
Yep.
And I wanted to take a few moments to thank you, probably members on this call who are part of that employment network, or maybe you're an employer and also an Aira user and you're on this call. There are companies that are currently actively hiring people who are blind and low vision, and once hired, these companies offer Aira as an accommodation. So I wanted to recognize the efforts and also let anyone know on the call that if you are looking for employment or know someone who is, I'm going to give you some great organizations to consider. Most are public about their support or use of Aira, but I can't name them all. But I just wanted to give a recognition to companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Salesforce, Alabama Institute Deaf and Blind, State of Colorado, Bank of America, and Starbucks are a few of those customers. And I also again point out that if you do have a job and you are wishing or considering advocating for use of visual interpreting as an accommodation, your first call or your first reach out can be to us. You can call customer care, and our sales reps can share or help you with the strategy, or like how you introduce it or how you involve us. But yeah, it's October is National Disability Employment Awareness Month, and I think I did start the call by talking about that, but I failed to mention, it's that important month.
And that list of employers is pretty impressive. And I can tell you, as somebody who is doing some Salesforce training right now, that the improvements that they've been able to make with accessibility in Salesforce, so many of those come from people who are in fact taking advantage of that employment offer. So thank you, everybody out there, everybody at all of these companies that are taking advantage of that offer to do their best work. It's pretty awesome. Alrighty, so we are nearing the end of the call when we want to remind you of something huge. But do we have any other questions out there?
Not at this time.
Alrighty, so we're going to give you a bit of your evening back with this reminder. Troy announced it at the summer conventions, but just in case you did not hear it or you were not aware, the prices for your subscriptions, especially those of you on our older plans, our legacy plans from 2022, if you are still on those plans, your prices will not change until January of 2025. So you've got a whole other year, a whole new year, starting in January of the same pricing. So we know how important it is. If you are on our newer plans, the metal plans that we brought out in February, those prices are not going to change either. So we are not raising, we are not changing our prices at all in 2024 that we know of at this point, right, Troy?
That's right. And our goal, so it's not a promise, but our goal is to forevermore not raise prices. And at some time, I hope we can lower prices.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, but the promise is you will not see an increase in 2024, and our goal is to continue to grow the access network, and in doing so preserve the pricing or lower the pricing in 2025.
And I just remembered that stay tuned to Access Matters and our other podcast, IRAcast. If you live in the state of Ohio, we are going to be attending both the ACB of Ohio and the NFB of Ohio conventions in November, here in just a few weeks. And there will be some big announcements there. So if you live in the state of Ohio, stay tuned. All right, everyone. Well, we appreciate you all joining us. Once again, if you have questions or comments or anything to do with the service, please give our customer care team a call at 1-800-835-1934. They are here from Monday through Sunday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific. You can also email them at support@aira.io. Well, thank you so much, Troy, for joining us once again tonight. And as this is our last call of the season, we want to make sure to wish you, as our CEO, a very happy rest of the year. It's going to be a busy one wrapping up this year.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. Also, our VP of Service Delivery, Savannah Massey. Thank you so much, Savannah, for bringing us the wonderful news that you brought us tonight, and for doing all that you and your team do to keep Aira. Well, what can I say? You are so welcome. Jody Barthel, our product manager. Thank you so much for joining us, Jody.
Thanks, Janine. Thanks, everyone.
And I would be remiss if I did not thank wonderful agent Amanda, who is manning our Q&A and our YouTube feed. Thank you so much, Amanda.
Thank you. Always happy to be here.
And last but never least, our wonderful producer, Sid. Thank you so much, Sid.
Thanks, Janine. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, you are so welcome. I want to wish everyone a happy rest of 2023. We're going to be excited to bring on 2024. There are no flying cars yet. I'm still disappointed about that, but I'm waiting for Troy to design one. So, he's got that old Kurzweil reading machine.
Yeah.
You never know what else he has in that garage of his. Well, thank you all. I'm Janine.